Hello YouTube, Yank here. I recently played in the Tengumania tournament and sadly I didn't get to the top cut. I went 3-3 in the total and I wasn't too happy about my experience. Also the deck, as you can see I tried Spirit Reaper. I don't think it's a bad card. I think it's one of the best Dark Monsters you can play outside of Torghast, Gorz and Sangan. But yeah, I didn't see much success, but I wanted to talk about the last match I had, which was against the Genex player, which was Saikonn. He played a very good Genex list, I would say, and I think our duel was very interesting. We had a lot of good plays, so I just wanted to show them off because Saikonn is busy doing his tier list, so I figured I'd talk about the duel. So nothing too interesting about this deck or my tournament experience, sadly. I faced two Gravekeepers and I didn't draw a Nobleman anytime. If I knew I would face Gravekeepers, I would side 3 MST, so that was a mistake, I guess. Also, a lot of agent lists, so I should have played Dragoonit again, but who knows. My meta call was a lot of Tengu plant players, which was why I played this version. So, yeah, standard Catsith list, but our duel was nothing but standard, so let's go over it. So, for the first duel, I win Rock Paper Scissors, and luckily for me, I opened Ryo, which is very strong, and also a warning. So he Dark Soul, that's fortunate. At this point, I think I misplay because I have warning, and obviously I would rather Veiler this so he doesn't get the Birdman and hope he doesn't have any other monsters. But since I know how oppressive Offering is, I should have just warning this because I can't use warning when he has Offering. So I should have just gone for the warning, but it's always feels kind of bad warning like Genex Power Planner 300 attack. So I got baited by the attack power, I guess. So pretty bad play by me. So I go for the Veiler, he pops into another Crusher. And here, as you can see, I'm pretty much screwed because you have two offerings and the Crusher, and I can't warning when he summons with Crusher. So he uses offering and returns to Catsith, and I assume the reason why is because he doesn't know if this is a wing blast or not, and he would rather have like a Kushano instead of two Catsiths because Catsith can be pretty lethal if I pod into another Catsith. So I mean wing blast. So yeah, I luckily pod into wing blast, which gives me a chance to stay in this duel, and I don't go into the battle phase because if I go into the battle phase, he can use offering in my battle phase. So I choose not to summon anything and just pass. So I can use my wing blast. And here, I think because I read the chain summoning, so I wanted him to be forced to not be able to play anything. And I think that was a misplay because as you can see, I have warning. And since chain summoning, it can't do anything super cool. So what I should have done would have been to just warning his synchro summon, but then he would have another monster in hand. So I chose to go for the warning on the Crusher. But I know he's gonna draw another monster, so that's a problem. If I would have returned the offering, his hand would be dead, and I would be in such a good situation. Instead, he can just outplay me with the second offering, which I didn't expect. So that's poor play by me. He just goes again because he shortcutted. We played in VC, but yeah, for stream we wanted to show off the plays. And I know I lost here because I know he can summon a Trishula and I have to judgment it, and then he can make Scrap Dragon after that. So yeah, it's such a strong deck when you can have Offering Resolve, and you only need one Genex monster. So I guess this shows off the power of Genex. Even though I disrupted two of his extenders, he has the third, and then I just lose no matter what. And yeah, the reason why is because you can't warning or judgment summon through offering. And yeah, obviously Saikonn doesn't just normal summon regularly, he waits. So he can pay life instead and just play around warning and judgment. So he makes a scrap dragon, hits win for game. I knew I would lose, but I just let it play out for stream. So it's my turn to have Dust Shoot, and I also had Mind Crush, which is super strong, so I just go for that. I return Tour Guide, I Mind Crush the Dust Shoot, I mid offering. So here I'm winning. He swings into the Sangan and I search Tour Guide. So since I know his hand, I chose to go for the upstart before because I didn't want to summon the tour guide in case he had any answers. And I wanted to see what I could do before. Because usually you want to summon the tour guide and then play upstart so you can draw better cards. But I wanted to try to hopefully force out the torrential, but obviously it didn't go for that. So I just went for the Levier play, but he torrential, so I forced it out there since I always had a backup. And yeah, we played in VC, so I just shortcut it. But yeah, I used the banish on the planner, and then I make Arcanite. Here, what I could have done was summon it in attack and then try to blow out the Mirror Force, and then I could keep attacking with 1400. But if it wasn't the Mirror Force, it was a 50-50. If I hit the Starlight Road instead, I would be forced to blow out the Mirror Force, and then I would have a 400 monster in attack. Obviously, what I could have done was just keep it in attack, blow out one card, and if it was Starlight Road, I would just pass. But then he can top deck Turbo, which has a 1500 attack, or Tour Guide, and then just swing over it and I take damage. And also Turbo, I die. So I chose to go for this. I got rewarded, and now I'm winning, obviously, because I drew to try too. So it was very quick game 1 and 2, and game 3 is not that much slower. It was just more interesting, I'd say. So he opens with Crusher. I don't want to Veiler that because if he has more Genex, I just waste my cards. So what I go for here is I go for the Chimera Tech setup, and it might sound weird because Cyber Dragon has more attack. Why would I go for the Chimera Tech? But the reason why is because it's dark and I have a Sork. So if I can force out cards, which I wanted to see before I played Upstart, because if he would, for example, bottomless the Cyber Dragon or the Chimera Tech, I could go for Tour Guide since I wouldn't have a Dark. But now when I have a Dark, I want to save the Tour Guide, because if I can get access to Ryo, I can use Ryo to bring back it with Levier, and that was my game plan against Genex. So luckily for me, I actually draw the Ryo, so I summon it, and I have Lance, and he doesn't play any warnings, so you can't really get rid of it that easy. So he goes for the Turbo just to save life, which I understand since he has the Power Planner still. And I attack, he Mirror Force, and now I go for my backup line, which on stream, they didn't really understand why I would go for the Chimera Tech, but this is why I go for the Chimera Tech, because this deck doesn't have that much access to Dark, and I can't use my Tour Guide for Darks because I want to make a Levier, so I remove the Ryo, and then I go for the Lever play to bring back the Ryo, because I know if I can just keep Ryo on the field, I win. Sadly, he drew the Torrential, which is one of the only outs in this situation that he can comfortably play and like not get behind by. So he searches the Crusher, he has Offering, and now I'm screwed. And I know I'm screwed, so I have to go for a Hail Mary play here, basically. Because if he keeps the Offering on the field, I'm gonna lose. So Veiler doesn't protect that because he has Birdman in hand, and I knew he had Birdman since he searched with Planner. So what I have to do is I have to go for the Bryonak play, and then this Tugguard Torgate to get rid of that. And I still know it didn't really protect me because he can just summon, which I didn't. I wasn't too sure, but yeah. So you just go for the Catastor, get rid of the Bryonak, set the Offering, and now unless I drew Heavy Storm, I would lose. And sadly for me, yeah, he had that. So I don't die this. Yeah, well, actually, I died this turn. He's still OTK me. So it shows the power of Genex. This deck is so oppressive when you have Offering. And it's also very interesting to watch because it has very complicated lines, I'd say. There's a lot of skill expression in how you conduct your combos and how you play around cards. So very interesting. Sadly for us, Saikonn, even though he won and went 4-2, he didn't top. He got 10th place because there was a pretty large tournament, but still a top 8. So yeah, that's very unfortunate. I still think he had a strong showing, and hopefully this deck and this duel can show off like the potential of Genex. I'm gonna link Saikonn's in-depth Genex explanation video. He earlier won a TTC tournament using this deck, but it was a less optimized version. He played 46 cards just to try different cards out because he didn't have time to playtest it much. But I'm gonna show a version I built based around his version, and it's pretty similar to the version he played in this tournament. So I cut one of the Crushers and the I added the upstarts because I wanted consistency for the ultimate offering. So instead of playing chain summoning, which this is something I've discussed with Saikonn, he agrees with it that he cuts the chain summoning, and then you can play just the 7 Genex monsters with Birdman. Because you really only want one of these to resolve, you don't want more of them. And Vortex Trooper is a pretty good card to dig into your deck. And another change I played that Saikonn doesn't have, I don't have a side deck, as you can see, is I play Warning and Judgment because I think these cards are just too good. He doesn't want to pay the life point, and I can understand that. I would have to try this deck properly just to get a feel for it. So don't take this version as gospel. I just wanted to show off my take on it. But you should totally watch Saikonn's video if you want to play this deck. I think it's such a cool deck, so everyone should pay attention to the new stuff cooking up in the community. And yeah, short video. I just wanted to quickly talk about our duel because I thought it was very cool to show off the Genex stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.